Hi team! So today we're continuing on with nutrition. You've already created one of your meals. Now you're going to create your second meal for your meal plan. Each day we're building on this so that your final project is actually something easy to turn in, similar to what we did with Blue Zones. So make sure that you're writing it down every single day. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and review. We can go a little bit faster today because we've reviewed this every single day. It should be ingrained in your brain at this point. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is one block. In one block, you have all three macronutrients. You have protein, carbs, and fats. In one block, there are 7 grams of protein, there are 9 grams of carbohydrates, and there are 3 grams of fats. The average adult female is allotted 11 blocks in one day. The average adult male is allotted 14 blocks in one day. I'm doing mine based on the average adult male. When you do yours, you're doing the average adult female. So keep that in mind. Yours is going to look a little different than mine. All right, so I take the total number of blocks, which is 14, divide it amongst my meals during the day. I have a breakfast, a first snack, a lunch, a second snack, and a dinner. I always leave a majority of the blocks for dinner just because I like a big dinner, but remember that it could change based on who your client is. So I give my client 3 blocks for breakfast, 1 block for snack number 1 and snack number 2, 4 blocks for lunch, and 5 blocks for dinner. This makes it a little bit easier for me to do my snacks because when I use the food list, I'm gonna just go through and choose foods. I don't have to do any math for my snack 1 and snack 2. To figure out how many grams of macronutrients are in each meal, I'm going to take my total number of blocks and multiply it by the grams of the macronutrients. So in breakfast, I have 3 total blocks. I take that 3, multiply it by 7. My client will get 21 grams of protein for breakfast. Take that 3, multiply it by 9. They get 27 grams of carbohydrates and they get 9 grams of fats. For snack number 1, I take my total number of blocks, which is 1, multiply it by each of my macronutrients, and that gives me 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fats for my snack number 1. For lunch, take that total number of blocks, multiply it by each one. I get 28 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbohydrates, and 12 grams of fats. For snack number 2, it's done for me because there's only 1 block, so it's 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of fats. And then for my dinner, these are going to be my bigger numbers. I have 35 grams of protein, 45 grams of carbs, and I have 15 grams of fats. So on Friday, I did my first meal, which was breakfast. I used that food chart and found what I wanted my client to eat, which was eggs, oatmeal, and peanut butter. But since my client gets 3 blocks at breakfast, I had to take each of the amounts on the chart and multiply it by 3. So my client gets 3 eggs at breakfast. They get 1 full cup of oatmeal for breakfast, and they get 1.5 teaspoons of peanut butter for their fats at breakfast. For snack number 1, that's the meal that we're planning today. This was a little bit easier to do because I just pull them off of the chart. So my client gets 1/4 a cup of cottage cheese, 1 peach, and then 1 tablespoon of avocado. If you're similar and you used your just 1 block for your snacks, today should be a pretty easy day for you. Use the food chart so that you can go through and pull those foods that you want your client to eat, and then you're going to have 2 meals planned, which is really good. And then we'll only have 3 meals left to plan, which will be our lunch, snack 2, and dinner. I would recommend don't work ahead, but I would also recommend that as you're filling it out in your Google form, write it down on notebook paper so that you can keep track of this, because the very last thing that you're doing is taking all 5 of your meals, putting it into a spreadsheet, and then sending that in as your final project. If you keep up with it, then it's not going to be so hard to turn in, okay? All right, team. So next on the next page is going to be your turn to plan your second meal. Make sure you answer the questions well. They're all the same questions, except for today, all you're adding in is snack number 1 and the menu for that. All right, let's get after it.